Pledge of allegiance and salute the Texas flag.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to Texas, one state under God, one indivisible.
Testimony of oath. Be advised if you are here to present, say that you are under oath before the Commissioner's Court. 1.5, public comments. 1.6, approval of regular meeting April the 20th, 2026. I have a motion by Commissioner Garcia.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.1, approval of bonds.
No problem.
We have no bonds. 3.2, discussion and appropriate action to take accountability on incident involving the alleged use of county resources for a completed project by Commissioner Garcia at the.
Good morning. Good morning. My request is for Dimmit County Commissioner's Court to take appropriate action, accountability regarding an incident involving the alleged use of county resources, 6 loads of material for a completed project at the Catholic Church, completed by a Commissioner from Precinct 2. I attended Commissioner's Court on Monday, April 20th, 2026 to disclose this particular wrongdoing. I was approached after Commissioner's Court as I exited by Mr. Danny Gonzalez, who during our conversation stated that he met with Sheriff Castaneda and Commissioner Carmona. According to Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Carmona admitted to his wrongdoings that had occurred, confirming Commissioner Carmona's involvement in the use of county resources. Mr. Gonzalez also indicated that he is currently waiting for the Sheriff's report to proceed with any further action. I respectfully request there was 3 penal codes that were violated: the abuse of official capacity, Texas Penal Code 39.02, if a public official misuses government resources, services, or labor for a non-public purpose like a private or church project. Penal Code 32, property, if public property was used without proper authorization. And Texas Constitution Article 3, Section 52 prohibits use of public funds, resources for private or religious purposes unless there is a clear public benefit and proper approval. In a previous situation involving another commissioner assisting at a cemetery with the removal of a damaged fence caused by a county chase, the matter was reported to the county attorney and resulted in a commissioner getting arrested immediately. That incident was reviewed and addressed through the appropriate channels. Given that instance, I respectfully ask why similar standards do not appear to be applied in your situation. The concern raised involve actions taken outside of your precinct, the absence of an interlocal agreement, and the timing of these actions during the early stages of your campaign. These factors raise legitimate questions about jurisdiction and the use of resources and intent. Additionally, there has been limited transparency surrounding this matter that the public deserves or financial aspects associated with the work performed. For the sake of fairness, accountability, and public trust, I respectfully request clarification from our Dimmit County Court on this matter and how this will be handled. If accountability was enforced in one case, it should be enforced consistently in all cases. Anything less undermines public trust. So I leave that to the judge and the commissioners. I'm not sure if Mr. Gonzalez or the sheriff's here so they can.
And unfortunately, Mrs. Means, I'm looking to the back and the sheriff's office is not here, nor is there a representative of the sheriff at this moment. My distinct understanding is that the sheriff is at a conference. I was just advised of that right now. Mr. Gonzalez, I don't know where Mr. Gonzalez is at. I know that Mr. Gonzalez did speak to you after Commissioner's Court in regards to his position. I can tell you right now that at the county that the county judge had it in her desk about it for political reasons, which is a complete fact that I do not handle criminal cases. I hear them as part of my judicial duties as a judge, but I do not indict or penal code or the Constitution. That solely lies upon the duties of our county attorney and our district attorney and the sheriff's office to investigate, and if there's any other assisting agencies that would assist the sheriff to investigate, they would. I don't know, I can tell you personally that I have not spoken to the sheriff in regards to this particular situation, or this allegation, um, as to where he is at with the investigation of it. I know that the last time that we were in Commissioner's Court, as you mentioned, Mr. Gonzalez did represent to this court that he was waiting on some documents from the sheriff's office.
Yes, so there was a meeting that did take place with the commissioner, the Martinez family, and himself with the sheriff, and that's where, he admitted his wrongdoings, and so he was awaiting for the sheriff, so I was unsure if you guys then therefore asked for a follow-up or what the proper procedure, as I mentioned, there was a previous commissioner that got arrested immediately for trying to assist on a county chase for offense removal. And, this occurred and nothing's being done, but everybody's talking about it. So I wanted to follow the proper channels for accountability. There was a commissioner in Atascosa County that got removed for fuel theft. And this was 6 loads of material, and that's a lot of material, a lot of tons.
And I understand your concern, Ms. Chavarria means, and I don't want Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, do you mind coming forward? I don't want you to think that we take anything lightly here. If there's any indication of impropriety. But as I mentioned to you, the proper channels, go through the investigation process, which is at the level of the law enforcement, at the sheriff's office. And then from there, it goes on to the next, which is either, the district attorney or the county attorney. I don't know if Mr. Gonzalez might have some answers, Mr. Gonzalez.
No, ma'am, I advised her of that last time she was here, of the process, it's my when I became aware of it, asked the commissioner to come in as well, and came in with witnesses, told the sheriff he needed to do a report, forwarded it to the DA's office to see if they're gonna proceed with the case. Last week and I talked to Ms. Means and I talked to the commissioner, said, guys, you need to get a report from the sheriff and see what the sheriff's gonna do. If the sheriff's not gonna do anything, then what you need to do is, talk to the district attorney's office, because it involves an elected official. If there's official misconduct, then he needs to proceed. It's always been the process. And
I was just put through Commissioner's Court for transparency reasons. That way, we're following, there's a process and.
And this is the 5th time it's been, I think, on an agenda item,
So
so,
I wasn't aware.
yeah, so.
So I'm putting it on here.
Well, I
as
think
a
that
constituent.
I think the other terms might have been put on by a different commissioner, but, I think Ms. Means, this is her second time, she put a public comment and
Public comment is,
and
first
this is
time.
an agenda item. And like I mentioned, when Ms. Means, I told her the same thing. The sheriff's not here, unfortunately, so as a commissioner's court as a whole, we can't ask him, hey, sheriff, where's the status of this?
So do you guys table, do y'all take a vote to table this so that way it can get brought up to the sheriff? Or do I just slowly, I'm here as a taxpayer, as a constituent, and so that is my concern. It kind of feels like our hands are just, okay, there's nothing that we can do, but there has to be a level of accountability, with this wrongdoing. And kind of at a standstill right now.
Well, they could take no action, because I don't see any action. The responsibility on this is on the sheriff to finish his report, submit it to the district attorney's office. He can decide as prosecutor that I'm not gonna take any further action in this matter. There's not enough evidence on that. It all depends on the report,
But you did mention when y'all had the meeting that he did admit to his wrongdoings.
That was an admission, and I advised the commissioner at that time not to speak up without consulting an attorney of his choice, and that was in front of the sheriff's office, in front of the sheriff himself. So what they put down on paper, whether they investigated, he also brought several witnesses in. They had documents showing that they had made payments or had received payments from the church as well. I don't know where all that's at. That should be in the sheriff's report. All right, and that's part of the evidence in the case that should go to the district attorney's office. The process does not, no, it's not, My job to remove them is the district attorney's job.
You approached me, and so I just wanted clarification, and that's why I wanted to put it, you know, that way we're all on the same page. And there is no back and forth, he said, she said, hearsay.
Well, have you requested a copy from the sheriff's office of the report?
I did.
What was your question, Mr. Gonzalez? I didn't-
Has she requested a copy of the report from the sheriff's office? That's the next step.
I can do that.
Okay.
Anything else from any other commissioners? So there will be obviously no action. Mrs. Chavarria means we don't have the sheriff here to ask him of those questions or to order him, to move forward for what the status is on this particular case, because the sheriff is not here. So we will, leave it as a no action item, and like Mr. Gonzalez said, like I advise you, if you want to, follow up with the sheriff's office to see what the status is. And if there is none, obviously, then, you know, they'll be put on the agenda. I can't, like I said, tell the sheriff, or the district attorney what specifically they're going to do.
Right,
But
no, I think we're just following the process, right? I wasn't sure, like, you know, I followed the process of inquiring, what do we do next? And he's advising, hey, go to the sheriff, ask for the report. You know, but clearly stated, you know, he did admit some wrongdoing, so there needs to be a level of accountability. You know, we all take an oath, and so that's why I'm here. I'm very committed to this county, you know, we're involved in a lot of things, and so it's not entitlement, or you've been here for so long that you get to do these things. Like I mentioned, you had a previous commissioner that was helping assist with the removal of fence and he got arrested, you know? So I appreciate you guys' time, so I will follow up with the sheriff on this matter.
Thank you. No action is needed at 3 point.
I had called Mr. Franklin,
Morning, Judge. May I approach?
Yes.
Judge,
For-
morning commissioners.
Just for the record, Ms. McDaniel, Mr. Franklin here is on behalf of Mr. Commissioner Cotton.
Well, I'm-
Just for clarification real quick. So the agenda has already been tabled, but we're still having to
no,
decide.
we haven't tabled.
We haven't
There's
tabled
no
it.
action.
There was no action.
Why no action?
Hasn't been voted.
What action do you want?
Why not? No, I'm just saying,
That's what I'm saying. What action do you want to take? The only action that we can take today is we can, without the sheriff here, we can order as a commissioner of court, order the sheriff to, take his, whatever evidence he has, whatever information he has gathered, to take it to the district attorney. Mr. Gonzalez has advised that he is not going to, as part of the procedure, he
for
is,
that prosecution, he's not choosing to investigate the case.
Mr. Gonzalez is not gonna prosecute, correct? He has to go
No,
to.
that's not what I said. I said it, I'm not responsible for the prosecution of the case. Now, it's not that I'm not gonna. Now, if there's a criminal action filed, and the district attorney doesn't want to seek a removal proceeding, then I can do that on behalf of the county.
And I think that that's something, to put out there, Ms. Chavarria means is that the removal and the criminal action, I'm sorry, Mr. Gonzalez.
No, no,
The removal, if Mr. Franklin, because the camera's right there, the removal and the removal process and the criminal process are two different things. The removal is a civil action, that's filed in the district court, and your criminal action, as Mr. Gonzalez said, is an action that is filed by the district attorney's office. And the district attorney for the jurisdiction of Dimmit County is Roberto Bobby Sedana. And so Mr. Sedana, if Mr. Sedana, based on the evidence and the information that is brought to him by the investigating law enforcement agency, whether that be the sheriff's office, the ranger, the police department, whoever the investigating agency is, provides that information to him, and Mr. Sedana and his office believe that there was a crime committed, a violation of the penal code, then his office would move forward in presenting that to a grand jury for purposes of a criminal case. And that is completely different from a removal. A removal is, like I said, to remove the individual from office. So it's two different,
Right.
two different.
So I have a question though, Mr. Gonzalez, have you ever prosecuted a criminal case or you don't have to investigate them? Is that what you're trying to get at?
And for 25 years or more, I've been prosecuting criminal cases. Before that, I was
So the
trying
answer
as a
should be-
defense attorney. Yeah, so the
So
answer
it's
is
just a
yes.
case that you're choosing just not to investigate because it
No.
should go to the district attorney.
Ma'am, this is beyond the scope of the agenda item. You violated the Open Meetings Act last time you attacked me, you're violating it again. So you wanna come after me, go ahead. Go ahead. You know, you wanna listen to your lips move, blah, 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 that's all you do. Go ahead. And then I'll tell you who's actually not doing their job, because you can't figure it out. It's the sheriff, not me.
You're going off tangent, that wasn't on the agenda.
Exactly, that's what you're doing. You want me to respond, so I'll give you a response.
And that's why I'm, the action here, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Gonzalez, if there's any action is the court can take to request the sheriff to,
Ma'am, you have your civil attorney here. I think that question should be.
I know, but I didn't call our civil attorney, he's here on behalf of Mr. Carmona. And I'm not, Mr.
He
Mr.
can't be here on
Okay.
behalf of any individual commissioner. He represents the entire body.
The only thing I did was call Mr. Franklin just to give me some advice on that.
And you can do that.
And not to be my lawyer or anything like that. Let's clear it clear before anybody jumps a gun that I'm using county.
No, you're
money
not,
that-
you can ask
because
me
it's
for
getting-
advice.
So hold on. Before it gets out of hand and somebody goes out there and spreads that I called him to defend me. No, I
No,
called
you
him
can't
to
do
give
that.
me some advice on how to proceed. I never got him as my attorney or anything like that before anybody goes out there and says he got him with county funds to
And-
say it.
Basically, that should be.
Because that'll go out there. Trust me, it'll be out there.
Privileged under the attorney-client privilege and shouldn't even be discussed in open commissioners court at this time. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct. I'm here on behalf of Dimmit County. That's who my client is.
It was supposed to be, but nobody called.
And I think that I'm just a little bit confused because I know that the buck keeps getting passed around. And I do know a little bit of how the story originated, so that's what my concern was. Does Mr. Gonzalez have the opportunity to prosecute it or not investigate it? Like, if he's not gonna investigate it, I thought he already started the investigation because he already called people in, and that's part of doing an investigation is calling people in and getting answers. So I don't understand why the investigation started in Mr. Gonzalez's office, but now that we're here, now he's saying that he cannot investigate it and he's not gonna prosecute it unless the district attorney gives it to him, and he was the one that started the investigation. And that shows because he just admitted right now that Mr. Carmona did tell him to admit to the wrongdoing. He
You're
called people
misspeaking now.
in.
Judge, may
Mr. Commissioner, I'm gonna tell you,
But I,
I'll tell you something.
You're
explain to
misspeaking
me
now.
then how I'm not correct then, because that's what I'm just hearing. You're just choosing not to
anytime-
investigate it.
Anytime I hear a complaint against any elected official, it's gotta be reported to the proper, law enforcement agency. I did my job. Why don't you understand? The job to investigate to see if anything happened, whether it's legal or illegal, it's the sheriff to investigate, put the case together, turn it into the proper prosecutor, and then he decides to go forward or not. The sheriff on his own may decide there's not enough there for me to go forward on it. He can 207, like he's done a lot of cases so far, and it dies. That's beyond my control. You saying that I don't wanna do my job, it's bullshit.
Mr.
Thank you.
Gonzalez, you can't be,
I don't know, I didn't say that right.
Mr. Gonzalez, I understand your frustration, but it's sidebar for you to be cursing.
This is
You
not-
have to have respect for
That's
the
not
court.
cursing, Your Honor.
Yes, you are.
She has no respect for me, I have no respect for her.
That's fine, Mr. Gonzalez, but we're gonna get back to the topic. Do you have anything?
That was
else?
just my concern, Judge, was that, like, I didn't understand why he started the investigation, and then when it hit a certain point, then he said that it was gonna be the sheriff's office. I mean, if someone kind of help clarify that and explain that a little bit
So
too.
what we're trying to say is that, yes, he went and they gave him the concern. They went and told him that there was an allegation, that was made. And what he's saying is that he took it to the sheriff. And now it's the sheriff's duty for the sheriff's office to investigate the allegations that are being made. And what Mr. Gonzalez is saying is that It's right now, it's at the sheriff's office. So the sheriff has to decide what information or what allegations he wants to proceed, if any. If he does not want to proceed with any other allegations, then it dies there. There's nothing else that can be done. And that's why we asked Ms. Chavarria Means to
I
get
can
that
re-
report.
I can respect the fact that if Mr. Gonzalez doesn't choose to investigate it or doesn't want to go that route, then I can understand that, but that's a choice that he's choosing to not investigate it, because obviously he's been able to do it in the past.
So
But I
again,
can respect that that is his choice to not want to.
so again, the thing is that Mr. Gonzalez is not the one that investigates it. He, like you said, he heard the concerns. They went and there was some allegations made to his office. So he has an ethical duty to go and take those concerns to the proper, law enforcement agency.
With the pre-investigation stuff that he had done.
Everything that he gathered, all the things that Mr. Gonzalez gathered, he takes that and gives it to the sheriff.
So the sheriff should have documentation of all the paperwork that
That's
Mr. Gonzalez
completely
has.
correct. And that's why here as a commissioner's court, we can request that from the sheriff. But we can't, Mr. Gonzalez is not the one that's going to do quote unquote the investigation. That's not Mr. Gonzalez's job. It's the sheriff's job to gather all the evidence, for him to send out his investigators to question, as Ms. Means said, the different witnesses or parties that have information regarding this issue. And then the sheriff puts all his work together, all his evidence, and then his office takes it over to the district attorney. And then the district attorney decides whether there's enough evidence there that more likely than not, there's a probable cause, that threshold to say something happened, they presented a grand jury. So I think where you're having a misconception of the investigation is that
He already started the investigation.
what,
That was our.
not necessarily, the information that he got, that Mr. Gonzalez got, and whether you want to call it an investigation that he did on his own, whatever information Mr. Gonzalez got, he has to give that to the sheriff. But he doesn't go and investigate the case. And Mr. Gonzalez doesn't go and take all the evidence he has, even though Mr. Gonzalez might feel that there was a wrongdoing, Mr. Gonzalez doesn't get to make that decision. Mr. Gonzalez takes all that information to the sheriff, and then the sheriff can take it like that and go present it to the DA, or gather additional information and take it to the DA.
For the record, I didn't receive any information other than, somebody said this happened. The people that came in that day with documents said, Sheriff, you need to talk to these witnesses, take their statements, get copies of what they have. I kept nothing whatsoever. So I didn't do any investigation other than call the sheriff in. Sheriff said, I wasn't there that day. I heard it. All right. I said, it's your job to investigate it, then turn it to the proper prosecutor so that they can proceed. In fact, no investigation whatsoever.
I see the confusion that I'm just having is like, okay, that's the process, and I understand that that's the process. Then how come is it when other elected are threatened, that's not the process that we take? Because on that situation, it's only, one person having a story to say, okay, this happened, and then we're being arrested and charged and threatened.
And I understand, and I think that's something that Mrs. Chavarria Means brought to the table, is that there was another commissioner that got arrested on fixing a fence, so she's asking what's the difference. I can't give her no answers because I don't prosecute the case. We don't prosecute the case. All I can tell her is these are the proper parties that she has to go and speak to get her answers. As a commissioner's court as a whole, we can request answers and questions from the sheriff's office, but the sheriff's office is not here and the sheriff is not here today. So I can't, or you can't ask the sheriff what is the status on this case, because the sheriff is not here.
And that process with the other commissioner wasn't any different, Your Honor. I called an officer in, it's a dual report, and called the commissioner showed up to see. I said, look, just don't do it again. He says, you do whatever you gotta do, you file a report, you file a complaint against me, you do whatever. I said, don't say that. When they asked me to file a complaint because of wrongdoing, and I'm at the scene, I'm obligated to sign a complaint, and I did. I didn't witness anything with Commissioner Carmona. So he didn't pushed me to the extent of go ahead and sign the complaint. I advised them, you need to consult with an attorney. You know,
So
say-
Mr. Gonzalez saying the difference is because he was an actual witness in the other offense.
But I thought that the reason that this came to light from the sheriff was when we spoke with him, is that he said that Mr. Gonzalez called him to his office to report that he was in church and that he had heard the donation and that other people had admitted to him.
That's your facts wrong. I wasn't even in town that weekend.
I mean, that was just what, like you said, the sheriff's not here, so we can cross.
So we can't ask the sheriff.
I just know that even here in court, I was here and I was threatened to, if I did anything based on the interlocal agreement that we passed through with it, was that they were gonna come and investigate me and remove me. So I'm just trying to find out the difference. I understand you have select investigation, select prosecution in your office, and I think that you feel that it's personal and that I don't respect you, but that's not the case. You were just doing things that you needed to be held accountable and you needed to come to the front with it, because at the same sense, yes, if things weren't getting done, there was a lot of routes that we could have taken to come to conclusions. We're not gonna get anywhere in this county when we continue to just pass the buck to the next person, to the next person, to the next person. People don't show up to court. We're not having discussions. I mean, at this point, I would blame voters for not being interested in listening to us for 5 or 6 hours, talk about things when they know that there's no resolution to them. It's just up here talking senseless and going around in circles. I'm just saying, I understand that this is a process, and I understand there's select prosecution, there's select investigation, but then just say that it's not your preference to investigate, or it's not your preference to prosecute it. Whatever the case is, however ugly the truth is, let's just be honest with one another and let's just say the truth. Because truth be told, Mr. Gonzalez, you won't let me speak without you getting upset and high emotional. It's not personal with me, sir. It's not. I needed things, I needed to get it done, and I went about it, and I got it the way that I knew how. At the end of the day, the ball needed to get rolling, and it happened. But to say that I'm sitting up here and I disrespect you or I don't like you, it's not personal. Just letting you know, it's not personal.
Childish tantrums you found us nothing now. Because I have only received 16 cases. 16!
And I'm proud because remember I told you, how did you know that the cases were not even complete if they weren't even allowed to hit your desk?
Guys, we're already on the line.
Yeah,
We don't
because
think of, none of this is.
there's a
discussed.
CGS
Either we
report.
stick to the agenda.
Biggest concern of mine, like I mentioned, was the accountability aspect of it. But there's been no submission or ratification from the commissioner to admit, hey, I gave these billings for the work of the parking lot at the church. And here we are 5 months later, and that is why I'm here as a taxpayer, is at what point do we hold one another accountable? But I will follow the process. I'll get with the sheriff, and then we'll just see what comes of it. Like Mr. Gonzalez said, he was in that room when he did admit for the 6 loads. So there's an admission there. And then we'll just see what happens thereafter, right? But you guys have an oath, and I just hope that you guys do the right thing, right?
Ma'am, but he also has a right to not further self-incriminate himself.
Right.
And I've already told him that. I don't agree already. Anything else, Mr. Franco?
Yes, Judge, and just to reiterate, I am here on behalf of Dimmit County. Commissioner Carmona did ask me, to be here today on this item. And, the agenda item specifically is related to taking accountability, and I have nothing to do with the criminal side of anything. I've never done criminal defense work or prosecutorial work in my career. So I have nothing to do with that side. My only concern, and what you all have hired me for, is related to potential civil liability of Dimmit County. And so that's all that I would be able to advise you on as it relates to this item. And I think that I have some ideas or things to consider, but because it relates to potential liability of Dimmit County, I don't recommend discussing those
Correct.
things in open session. It would
Would
have
be
to be
an
done in
executive.
executive session.
Correct.
And that's up to you all if you'd like to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Franco. Anything else that you want to go into executive session regarding?
Well,
that?
we can go.
Well, because the liability purposes have to be in executive session.
We can move to.
You gonna make the motion?
Yes.
I have a
Go to
motion.
executive session, even if it's not on the agenda like that.
It's under personnel.
It's under the civil liability of Commissioner Carmona. I have a motion by Commissioner Carmona to go into executive session. Second by Commissioner Uranda. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Opposition? Are you all in favor, Commissioner Noguera?
I just know if we're allowed, he said yes.
Okay. The time is 10:31. Ms. Najani, we're gonna go to executive session.
I want to opposition.
And I have one opposition by Commissioner Talamantes.
Good morning. My name is Steven Jaramillo, and I am a concerned resident and regular patron of the county golf course. I'm here today to bring attention to ongoing maintenance, safety, and operational concerns, which I've documented and provided through the photos submitted. Across multiple holes, specifically holes 1 through 7, the greens are in poor condition with large areas of turf loss, bare patches, and in some cases, such as hole 4 and 5, almost entirely sand. These are not playable surfaces and do not meet basic standards for a public golf course. Tee boxes are also inconsistent and in some cases unclear or not properly defined, which affects both playability and safety. Specifically, tee box on hole number 2, the backside of the tee box has considerably better surface playability than that of the rest of the playing area. In addition, there are hazards that are not being maintained. For example, the water hazard on hole number 2 contains visible debris, and other hazard areas show signs of neglect. There are also dead trees and a remaining tree stump at the right-of-way of hole number 6 and 7 fairway that have not been addressed, raising concerns about both safety and routine upkeep. There are large amounts of material stockpiled throughout the course, particularly along the right-of-way of hole number 5 and hole number 6 and 7 fairways, while cart paths and other areas appear to need that same material. I would like clarification on why these materials are not being utilized. Operationally, there are also several concerns. Irrigation is being run during peak playing hours, which interferes with play and reflects a lack of scheduling coordination.
What was that last part you said? I'm sorry.
Operationally, there are also several concerns. Irrigation is being run during peak playing hours, which interferes with play and reflects a lack of schedule coordination. The practice green does not have cups, and in some cases, cups that are cut out do not have flags, which affects usability. Golf carts are not supplied with sand or seed to repair divots, which contributes to the ongoing deterioration of the course. Additionally, I included a photo of a recently installed fence post. I would like to understand the purpose and cost of that project and why those funds were prioritized while visible maintenance issues across the course remain unaddressed. The driving range is also a concern. The range balls are excessively worn, many have no dimples, are cracked, and are no longer suitable for proper use. This makes it difficult to get accurate feedback when practicing, and the range itself is not in playable condition. Even a partial replacement of approximately 500 range balls would significantly improve conditions, and based on current pricing, this would likely cost approximately $300 to $400. This appears to be a manageable maintenance issue, which raises concern as to why it has not been addressed. From a planning standpoint, it also may be beneficial to consider bringing in an outside company to provide training and/or consultation on course maintenance standards, as well as exploring the use of a designated spare or recovery green to support ongoing repairs. Overall, the current condition of the course does not align with the green fees being charged, especially when compared to other public courses in the area that maintain significantly higher standards. This raises concerns regarding budget versus actual maintenance outcomes. I respectfully request that these concerns be reviewed and that a clear plan with accountability be provided moving forward. These are not complex issues, they are basic maintenance expectations, and they should already be meeting that standard. Thank you.
Questions of Mr. Jaramillo?
Drainage.
The balls.
I have
Go ahead.
Mr. Jaramillo.
I have a question. Mr. Jaramillo, have you spoken to Mr. Commissioner Uranda?
Not recently, maybe about 2 years ago, concerning the corporate membership and some transparency on what that included and how that worked.
Go ahead.
Mr. Jaramillo, first of all, thank you for bringing these issues and concerns up to light. I want to welcome you and anybody who has any concerns in regards to anything that involves the county. I mean, before I forget, I don't ever remember speaking to you, to be honest with you. I may have. You said 2 years ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I don't ever believe, I don't think I had ever had the pleasure to meeting you until right now, but perhaps it may have happened. Um, that's not the focus of this conversation. However, I do want you to know that, we, as a team, we take great pride in, our nine-hole golf course. It's been around for many years. We do, and we try to work with what we have for the budget. Um, there are some concerns like any golf course. If we wanna, compare golf courses, I've had individuals coming in from a lot of it to tell me that they're playing on the fairway where it's all dirt and no grass. You know, but I'm not here to, talk about other golf courses. I wanna focus on our golf course. And I wanna do anything that we can do within our budget and our authority to make it better. This golf course is a nine-hole golf course, probably know that. It's been around for a long time, and one of the biggest challenges around this area is the rain. If any rancher, anybody who blows grass, if you got grass in your backyard, you probably understand that if it doesn't rain, you can't grow grass, period. Right now, we're blessed to have received the amount of rain that we have received here in the recent days. And I can take these pictures and I can promise you it looks completely different. We have grass where we would see no grass. Now, my concern here, Mr. Jaramillo, is, have you spoken, I wanted to ask you, have you spoken to the manager, in regards to any of these, issues?
Who was the manager?
Ms. Hyman, you didn't know she was the manager?
Oh, Ms. Amelia, not specifically these concerns, but I've spoken with her about pricing
Right.
and how prices come about and, some other issues like I've stated here with just liability and lack of maintenance.
Okay, so as far as the driving range, irrigation, course maintenance, hazards, by the way, it's definitely a priority. That's something that if you feel there's a hazard out there, I don't know if it's the fence construction, what it may be, but we can discuss that. But, when it comes to those type of maintenance situations, you know, we have a protocol, and we have people in place for a reason. Ms. Jaime being the manager, I would have, expected that she knew that you had a concern. We also have a box on the counter that it was placed, as I requested. For people that don't feel comfortable speaking, they can leave a note, a phone number, you know. We'll do whatever we need to do to improve the communication factor. Without a doubt, I'm all for it. And I understand, I see you have some pictures. Yes, there has been, leaks that we've been constantly working on. I mean, I have a schedule where I can show you every time. Every Monday's when we perform maintenance out on the golf course. You probably know this. Golf course is open Tuesday through Sunday, unless it rains and we just can't get around in the golf course because it's so wet. But we do perform maintenance with the people we have out there. At times, the tasks are so great that we bring crews. I bring some of the guys from utilities since they have the equipment to work on the leaks. But these are issues that can be talked about and resolved on a one-to-one basis. If you feel comfortable talking to me about them, I'm more than glad to give you the time and meet either at the golf course. We can drive around. You can show me whatever else you see that we would probably need to address. But at this point, we know about them. I'm looking at the pictures. Obviously, I'm going to consult with the manager, where our consultant, he's actually the individual that spends a lot of time out at the golf course. And we'll do whatever we can to mitigate these situations. But that's why I would feel better if you and I would sit down and talk, because there's more than to just going out and getting things done. There's the proper authorization, because a lot of times they have to come to the Commissioner's Court, like the green fee values and all that. I didn't designate those, just to be clear. Those were inherited with the golf course. None of that has changed, but it has been approved through Commissioner's Court because it's a proper process. Even with fuel going up 35 to 40%, as we all know, we have not raised the prices. We're quite more affordable than Eagle Pass and Uvalde, just to keep it simple, within a 45-mile radius. we're not, we don't have a golf course that we charge to try to make money off of people. It's just a charge that is placed to continue the main, hearing about all this, because a couple meetings ago, Commissioner Rubalcaba, for example, commended the manager for a lot of positive input or information they had received, specifically on the golf course. So, you know, it happens because there's no rain, because sprinklers break. A golf course, I say a golf course is a lot like a ranch. There's always something to do. There's always something broke. You know, we cut grass pretty much on a daily basis. We are trying to keep up with the greens, the permits, but there's a lot to it. There's a lot more to it than to just, if it was privately owned and I was the owner, I would tell you, you know what, I'll get so much money and I'll get it on fixed green number 5 next week, but that's not the process, even though we are working on it. We've got a schedule to repair number 6, the growth of grass that we don't have. Mr. Gonzalez has been involved in working on the fairways and the tee boxes that you just mentioned. The crews have been working on it. You know, we're working as we're actually speaking about it. But it takes time and conditions and process has a lot to do with it. That's just not something that I can control. It's just the way it is. POs, you have to get POs approved before you purchase anything. It's just a process. We all go through it, but I don't want you to feel that by all means that it's going to stop and nothing's going to happen. We're going to address this situation. The driving range, I don't know if you've seen the buses when they show up with kids. We had a contract with Crystal City, Carrizo, and these buses show up. They go to practicing on the driving range, and it is torn up. I mean, we've been trying from roping the certain areas. We've seeded, we've fertilized with water, but it doesn't matter how much you do. If you keep hitting on it, it's not going to grow. Now that I can guarantee.
Yeah, but that comes back to my concern about course maintenance. Like if you guys run the golf course and you have certain rules or expectations implemented, that's where the communities have to respect that. And if they don't, then they shouldn't be allowed to play there.
Correct, and that's one of our biggest problems, not that you bring it up. We brought these balls, and I can show you POs where we purchased balls by the hundreds, but they disappear. All of a sudden, they disappear and we end up with old balls that we have never even put it through that process. People take them. I see that you bought 3 balls. You brought one of the highest, most expensive balls, that Callaway, compared to the ones.
No, that's not an expensive ball.
Well, we buy the cheaper balls because they're practice, and we know that they're going to disappear. We have rules, Mr. Jaramillo, and I know there's rules. You've seen the rules, the placards like the size of these windows here, plus they're in every golf cart. And we have an issue with some people not following the rules or that are established for golf. But we talk to them. Speeding is a factor. We've had attendants that have brought it up to different players. Hey, you need to slow down because they're just driving as fast as the golf cart will go through the golf course. It's hard to control an area, Mr. Jaramillo, when you have the numbers are higher than they used to be. For example, right now we've got a lot of members. We have people coming in. Think hunting season, fixing to be around the corner. We're gonna have a lot of people out there, and we're trying to do everything we can, like I said, with what we have. I'm not justifying the reasons that the golf course under this condition. The only thing I can tell you is we can talk about it all day long, but if it doesn't rain, we will not grow grass with those sprinklers. That's just the way it is. We got an issue about water. The city has brought it up to our attention that we're using too much water, and you know we had to work around that. And then I'm running off. We're working around it. We're trying everything we can to make this better. And I want to look into this. If you would like to have a meeting, I'm more than glad to give you the time, set it up. But moving forward, Mr. Jaramillo, I would really appreciate if you take the manager in consideration. Let her know whenever you see something that is not right or do you feel needs to be addressed, and we'll take it from there. But I'll give you time and we'll have a meeting if that's okay with you.
Yeah, it's good.
And you just tell me what day, and we can either meet here or at the golf course, and we'll talk about these things.
Commissioner, I have one question.
Uh-huh.
I have one question. The consultant we have, Doesn't he get together with you and discuss this issue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's actually here, on trying to better the golf course in different ways. We have a program, a spraying program for the weeds. We're trying to get rid of certain grasses that are growing within the greens. The fence, we're constructing the fence, and I know you mentioned, how could this be a priority over maintenance? Well, in fact, it turned more into a legal priority because, as you may know, they sell alcohol at the golf course. And we continue to have people bringing in alcohol from the outside. We cannot allow that to happen because it's against the law. We cannot control the flow of people coming in and out when we don't have a direct flow through it. It's all open.
It's not all open, sir. There is barriers in place already that,
There's barriers what I'm saying, it's all open. The only thing that keeps you from going into the golf course is the front gate. Once you get into that front gate, you can go get your cart and you drive around to the parking area, correct?
no.
I've seen it done 100 times. Am I saying something wrong here, Gonzalez? Gonzalez?
I'm sorry, my name's Ray Gonzalez.
Can you come forward, sir?
Because I've seen individuals drive around where the parking lot is at and load their things.
I've been to the golf course maybe 10 times in the past month, and I've never seen a golf cart in the parking lot. Me personally, like you said, I'm not saying it's not possible, but
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's you. I'm saying
it would take a lot of effort to go all the way around that barrier to
that-
get
Does it
to
happen, Mr. Gonzalez?
Right now, the fence that he's referring to, he's building a fence that's gonna be, when you come into the drive, into the golf course, then Mr. Uganda's, putting up a fence that will keep people from taking their golf cart and getting back onto their vehicle and doing whatever. There is access that you can get through, if you have a shed, you can go from the shed to your vehicle, because there's a lot of open areas. So what he's trying to prevent is that there's only gonna be one access, or maybe two, that everybody, whether members or non-members, are gonna flow through. And then if you have a shed, you'll go to that area, and that's controlling traffic. That is what it is. And that way we can prevent, the golf course can prevent, from people without, with management, knowing that carts are beyond, that are in the parking area. We're trying to control it. That's what we're trying to do.
That's where the fence is.
And Mr. Gonzalez, on that irrigation schedule that Mr. Jaramillo was talking about in regards to that, the golf course is being irrigated during times when people are golfing, that's true?
That is, right now, that I'm aware of, it's not happening. It has happened, I think it was the month of March, where we had temperatures going up high into the 90s. We also had a very strong breeze. You have to understand, the greens, where the putting occurs, where all the flags are, the height of that grass is 3/16 of an inch. Very delicate. So, and what the wind's doing, when you have a 20-mile-an-hour wind or beyond, or somewhere in that area, it will dry up the grass quickly. So at that time, in that month, I advised Mr. Urenda and his staff to hand water, or if not possible, to turn on the sprinklers. As he spoke about the dead areas, that's what causes it. I mean, here in South Texas in March, and we're gonna go into it soon, it's gonna hit above 90. And that turf area, very sensitive. Most of the time you can't keep it moist and they dry out. And this concern has been happening even prior years, before I came around. And it's an ongoing process. Some of the greens are, there is patches, but in order to get a beautiful golf course, you ain't gonna get it here. You know, it's not an insult, but I've gone to several golf courses where the green fees are $300 plus. You expect a high standard. Here, this is a muni, and it's the community the commissioners, the county is doing everything they can possibly do. There's a lot more we can do. There is scheduling. The scheduling on the water is at nighttime. And it starts at about maybe 8 o'clock in the evening, and you're watering everywhere from the driving range to the tee boxes. You have 18 tee boxes, actually more than 18 tee boxes. Everything gets watered. And that's through the nighttime. And then as I was saying, if needed, we water during the day, depending on what the temperature is happening at that time. It's not every day, but it's, I advise Mr. Urenda and his, it's not intended to hurt the players. It's intended to, if you lose the greens, it's gonna be costly. I'm gonna give you, hole 5, the green on hole 5, that's been for several years, for over, let's say 2 years. It's been worked on so many times, and we bring it to where it's playable, and then it just drops. These are things that, due to nature and the height of the green. I mean, the heat in the summertime is over 100 degrees, and it's burning, and you can't keep enough moisture on it. So what I've done since I started in October, I put them on a herbicide schedule, which we didn't have any type of scheduling for that. So we're working on that. I put them on a fertilizing schedule, starting from the tee boxes, the fairways, the greens. Okay, cutting schedules. All these things are something that I brought to the community, to the golf course. I don't know if he's referring or Mr. Urena's referring. We've blocked off areas with 4x4 posts around certain greens, around certain tee boxes. Because I'll give you an example on number 3. Prior to, we started roping off areas because lost all the greens, lost all the grass. I mean, traffic was not being, I don't want to say monitored, or members or non-members. They were just driving everywhere, where when you're constantly driving anywhere and parking anywhere, you're losing all the grass. That's what you're doing. So what I suggested to Mr. Urenda is to rope out areas. We did that, and we started doing it maybe in March, I believe. And then to this point, I don't have any pictures, but y'all are welcome to go and look. You'll see how, what has become of it. We are growing grass. It's roped off. Anytime that we're gonna do that, I'm suggesting anything to Mr. Urenda, I always have him, I ask for permission, and it's in an email or a text. Then when he advises me that it is possible to do, we post, I know that Ms. Jaime will send out, if she's got emails for members or non-members, she sends out that information that work is gonna be done in certain areas. It might be roped off, or tee boxes, the markers where you're hitting from, it could be moved away, or it could be blocked away. Why? On the tee boxes, what I've done, what I suggested to do is to rope off areas. Why? Because there's no grass. There was no grass whatsoever. And I don't know how familiar you all are with golf courses, but my job is to advise how we can better the golf course. That's my job. So what I'm trying to do with the golf course here in Carrizo is to bring grass back to where it's playable, to where it's supposed to look like a golf course. That's, I don't know.
Mr. Gonzalez, on one of these, where he shows that there's debris and water stagnant.
Can I?
Yeah, you can.
So my concern with that, or
What is the remedy for that?
This is water. Okay.
Well, we're not sitting with water.
It's standing water. I don't know how recent this was. So back in September, October, when I started this contract with the county, with Mr. Urenda, we repaired the sprinkler system, valves. They're automatically sprinkler systems. The valves are what opens up the certain sections of the golf course. So there was over 10 valves that were broken, which broken, that means water's just running. It's just coming out. There's no
So
control.
how often are they checked?
How often? We've repaired them.
No. My question is, how many times do you check on those valves? See if they're broken?
I don't check them. I write the course.
But aren't you the consultant?
Yes. What
Aren't
I'm,
you supposed to overlook this?
what I'm saying is that I don't physically go and dig them
Those
out or
are- I
anything.
mean, as a consultant,
I
I would
go-
think you would walk the field
Yes.
and look at every.
Correct.
I mean, we're paying for a consultant.
Correct.
So my suggestion, I don't know much about golfing, but if we're paying somebody to overlook the golf course, I would assume that you would walk the golf course and see where the problems are.
Yes.
Not just by phone call or anything like that. I'm not trying to tell you how to do your job, but I'm just asking, as a consultant, don't you walk the field?
I walk the course every day.
But then you would have seen that.
That's something I got to repair.
You just said that you just saw it right now.
Well, this is a picture that I just.
Well, that's what I'm asking, how long
Okay,
has it been?
so if this happens, I don't know what causes it.
I understand,
So-
but you say that most of them have valves.
Yes, there's
So does that have a
over,
valve?
there's over, I know of, we have repaired 10 valves and we have not, we don't have water leaks right now. But a water leak can occur immediately. As a matter of fact, just last week, the staff was telling me that they had a major water leak out there, so that stops everything.
No, I understand.
So I go on the golf course, anytime that I go on a golf course and I see whatever, if I see water standing, if it hasn't rained, well, that's a concern, and I bring it to his attention, to the staff's attention, to look at it. That's what we do.
And they give.
I mean,
No,
once
I'm-
we discover that we do have a valve, if it's a valve, well, then we'll flag it off and then shut down that area, but it doesn't happen within 24 hours, these valves cannot be fixed. One, if a valve is broken, it's dug out and then they have to run a PO because we don't keep anything in inventory. So if a valve's broken, they'll leave the water, they can't turn off the water because it turns off the whole golf course. So what they do is leave the water on, and as soon as they get the valves from wherever we're purchasing, that's how they do the repairs. It might take a week, it might take 2 weeks, it depends on the process of ordering all your materials. That's not in my control.
And one more thing, one more question there.
Sure.
Mr. Amarillo, you mentioned something about I don't know, when they hit I guess with the golf club, they tear the grass out, and you showed that there's a bag of like remedy or sand or something like that. To get back on that?
Oh, just real quick, just to clarify, sir, your concern about that, that is a actual water hazard. So I understand that we have watering issues, not to say that it needs to be, that's whole too. Not to say that it needs to be filled with water, that stagnant water is from the rain we just had this week, okay? My issue is if and when they cut down a dead tree to make way for a new tree, or the tree breaks, that stays in the playing area. So as far as Mr. Gonzalez speaking on the valves, I mean,
Oh, okay.
he's doing his job. My concern is like with the materials on hole number 5 on fairway 6 and 7, like that could be moved out of the way to make it more playable for the players that go out there. Because right now, that's just literally in the way. Now, mind you, I'm no professional golfer by any means.
Right.
But getting those materials out of the way, like by the shed on hole 9, would open up the golf course more.
Are they on the fairway,
What
the materials?
They're to the right of ways.
he's referring to is hole 5, and that's from the tee box, and it's a dog leg to the right,
All right,
where you keep all your dirt and your sand.
right.
I believe that's what
But
that's,
is that part of the fairway?
no,
So if it's not part of the fairway,
that is where the maintenance department keeps.
in the fairway, Mr. Osa,
My name?
how wide is the fairway?
The fairway, let's see, about 30 yards, something can be 50 yards. What they're trying to do right now with all the rain that's occurring, the fairways, if tree line is further back, let's say that whole plays 300 yards. from the tee box to the green. So if you got tree line, they only cut, let's say 40 yards. And then from beyond the 40 yards, that's considered rough.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm getting technical. Um, rough is something that's part of the game, part of the game.
It's part of the challenge.
Yeah, that's the whole challenge. That's why.
And
you
I
drive
just
me
want to
crazy.
touch, I just want to touch on this right quick. I'll give you an example, Mr. Jaramillo. I've had golfers say, when are y'all gonna cut the roughs? And I would go to Ray and say, Ray, they want us to cut the roughs. Say, well, the roughs are not priority, the priority is the fairway, tee boxes, and the green. And I don't know much about the game of golf, because I'm being honest with you, I do not play golf.
I think that's what the problem is.
Well, I mean, we had, so you feel we need somebody over the golf course that plays golf?
Well, Mr. Ray's there. Me and Mr. Ray have had meetings, or not meetings, conversations in a group setting where we've spoken about all these issues. And so when Ray tells me certain things that don't align with the golf course that he feels, then that's where I come in as a citizen who plays golf and who knows a little bit about the game and course maintenance comparable to other courses that, okay, let's take it through the proper channels and expose, not necessarily expose them in a bad way, but expose our concerns and see what can be done about that. Also, I mean, we are in South Texas, we are in Carrizo, we understand the weather, the issue we have. Why is Laredo significantly better? Now, mind you, that's where budget and cost and community come into play, right? But they're dealing with the exact same weather. So is Eagle Pass, so is Divine, so is Uvalde. Why do they all have greens and we don't? Again, this is not to bash Mr. Ray or Ms. Lamenda, because I know that Ray is working on the golf course. I know he is trying with his available resources. But that's where I come in with my concerns and what can we do as citizens or as a community or as a court to help him make it a better course? Because he is out there every day and we do play together and we do play against each other, but that's besides the point. Just to know that he is out there every day and he is working on it, why are we not seeing any kind of progress with everything he is doing?
Well, one of the reasons we probably hadn't realized this is because nobody had really brought it up to light. Like I just said, we go up to, and Ms. Hyman can correct me, she has people coming in on a daily basis, and they'll tell her, this is our awesome 9-hole golf course, so which one is it? And just like the fairways, we have people that say, we need to cut the fairways, and people that say, no, they're part of the game. They need to stay within the fairway if they play golf. You have your opinion, Mr. Jaramillo, and I understand and I respect it, but what I need you to understand before you walk out of this room is that we're trying, and it's not because I don't want to fix it or, like you said, about leaks. That's not beyond our control. The system has been there for years, so as it's working, things are going to break. At times they're an easy fix. At times they are not. And but we're addressing the issues. We're addressing the greens. We are addressing the fairways, the driving range. There's different things that we're working on, actually. We're not waiting for you or anybody else to come and bring it to us so we can start working on it. We are working on it, but it takes process, time. And that's part of it.
Yeah, so going back to what Mr. Ray said, if I go play at a $300 golf course, I have certain expectations. That's fair. That's
They're
correct.
privately owned golf courses.
That's not my point. My point is, right now, and I have the proof there, our 18 or 9-hole green fees are less, or more than, or equal to a Laredo green fee for an 18-hole golf course.
Do you have that, Mr.?
Yes.
Now, with that said, there is certain golf courses in San Antonio that are having similar issues. And there's one golf course in particular that out of 18 holes has 2 bad greens. So what have they done? They reduced the green fee to reflect that.
Reduce the green, okay.
Our green fees are at $12.50 for the green fees. Eagle Pass is a set 20 and Uvalde is set at 18. And I have the backup,
Well, I have the backup there too. It's all printed. That's as of this week.
yeah.
So nothing's
yeah,
changed.
So is ours. And then, Mr. Hamadio, and I know you said, to repair the divots, each golf cart has bottles of sand. And our priority is that they have sand in the morning we check all the cards and the scorecards. So there is that, whether the members choose to help us repair the divots, and then when our co-op students come in the afternoon, that's the first thing, is go check the tee boxes, go with your sand bottles, and that's what we do. And on the watering, we do have a time that we don't have anybody, like the day that you and Mr. Urenda, remember I was there by myself? Okay, so those are the times like, hey, let's water this right now, nobody's here. Somebody comes, we shut it off. Because we want to keep it the way when I first got there, I think I've seen a lot of improvement. Yes, there's still more that needs to be done, but sometimes our hands are tied behind the back. The trees, if it weren't for the generosity of Mr. Urenda sending his men to go help us with the Tommy lift to go cut and as soon as they cut, they clear everything into the brush pile. And then we contact Mr. Carmona when possible, if we can ever burn. I think we burned like twice, and that's it since I've been there. But it is getting done. Magically, I cannot close the golf course for a week and just concentrate on cutting trees. There's no way.
What do you mean when you say that your hands are tied behind your back?
Well, because there's some things that we can do and some things that we can't. And anything that we need to purchase or repair or anything, there's a process that we have to do. I have to get quotes. I have to, and everything has to come. And any big changes, like say, for example, that you want something added to the contract, I can't do it. Mr. Urenda can't do it. We present it to the court, and they approve or disapprove if it's going to be done or not.
Okay, well, that's why I'm here, just to bring up the concerns. I mean,
Yes.
I know that you try, I know the ladies in the office are respectable and polite, and they're there to offer great customer service, and they do. So my concern is not with the staff, you or Mr. Ray included. My concern is, why is the golf course the way it is when the surrounding golf courses are significantly better for around the same price? There's golf courses like Eagle Pass that turn around their 9-hole golf course in 6 months. How? Why? I don't know how to manage or budget a golf course, but I do know that, the surrounding areas have done it. So my concern and my question is, why can't we do it? And of course, if we don't have enough money, okay, we'll start at one thing at a time, like the rainfalls. We go from there.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Judge, I think that, Mr. Jaramillo, are you okay with visiting with him at a later time? to
No, of
have
course,
this
yes,
discussion?
yeah.
I do hear a lot on a lot of y'all's guys' point of view, and I really do feel like from what I'm hearing from every single person, whether it be the manager, the greenskeeper, commissioner yourself, is that the main goal is that y'all guys just want to see the golf course come into fruition. I will tell you that it is difficult what we do. It's not easy, but things get done and things change with citizens like you that have the courage to come and address these concerns. Sure wasn't notified and they didn't have an opportunity to address these concerns, but I think now that we've had a formal complaint, we can definitely get back to Ms. Hyman to see what she can come up with. And like I said, it may not be the answers that you're looking for, you may not be happy with them, but I do trust from what I'm hearing from every single one of y'all's individuals that the main goal and objective is the same, and that's to get to the golf course at best that we can do it. So for that reason, I'm going to table it with the conversation happening at a later time. And of course, if that meeting doesn't happen, then you always have this court as a second option to come back to make sure that your concerns are heard. But like I'm saying, from what I'm hearing from every single person, they want to come to a resolution. It's just the time that y'all guys need to have that conversation. So motion to table.
Mr. Reyna, there's also maybe maybe you could get with Selena and ask her on the Texas Golf Association. There's a grant that helps for the golf.
I actually did get with her on our plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jaramillo.
Thank you.
I have a motion to table by Commissioner Talamontes,
Second.
second by Commissioner Carmona. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.4, discussion and appropriate action approval for travel reimbursement for JP1 Sonia Guerrero Perez, JP1 clerk Rosie Alfaro, JP2 clerk Alicia Sanchez, JP4 clerk Elsa Jimenez to attend the public safety report system training on Monday, April 27th in Eagle Pass.
This is a reimbursement.
We're waiting on someone.
I just wanted to know if it was a reimbursement because the dates were back.
Was it an all day for the meal for all day? Was it an all day event or was it just a certain amount of time?
Well. They don't have any meals, ma'am. Rosie doesn't have meals. Rosie
On the
just has
top.
mileage
It
and,
says,
oh, she has
Elsa,
one.
it says Elsa, $60 for the meal. And then mileage.
I mean, but if they were still gone at 12 and they were out of, and they were in Eagle Pass, technically the protocol is that we still pay them lunch, but it wouldn't be $60, it would be $20, right?
$20.
But I mean, that's still the policy, that even if they're county employees and they're not here, they still get the meal reimbursed.
What time did they get back? What time did y'all get back? That's the.
What time did y'all? Yeah.
Like at 5. Does it make a difference? Because regardless, they still get their meals paid because they weren't here at 12.
You're right. But if they get back like around 5, I can't remember if
Oh,
it's
no,
5 or 6.
it wasn't. Oh, I see what you mean, because it's the,
Dinner. It's
yes. So it'd be
So it's
40.
just lunch.
depending on what time they got back.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I asked.
So then we can approve for $40 since they got here at 5 o'clock, so to speak, because they got here at the end of the day. So it's $40 instead of $60.
Well, it's 15 for breakfast, 20 for lunch, 25 for dinner. They get the dinner depending on what time they got back.
We don't know yet.
What's your motion, Commissioner?
I just want to make sure. She's the one that had the question. Judge had the question. She said that do they get the meals paid because if it wasn't an all-day training, that Mr. Freya had that question, that if it wasn't an all-day training, do they get their meals paid? And I said, well, regardless, if it was an all-day training or not, they still get the $20 because at lunchtime as county employees, they weren't here.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they still get the $20. So now is it $20 or is it $40?
That's
No, they
why I'm
can't.
asking what time they.
But you said it was a $20
It's
plus
15,
plus the dinner.
15 for breakfast, 20 for lunch, 25 for dinner.
So it would be 45.
It would
Depending
be
if.
55 actually.
40.
Well, because you're doing 15 for breakfast, 20
No,
for
no, no.
lunch.
So, okay, so
The
you
class
get,
started at 12.
you get breakfast and dinner based off what time you left and what time you get back.
So it'd be 45.
So for their breakfast, so they got them, we got the other class at
So
12.
45,
So they got,
right?
Yes, you say because the judge had
45.
meeting with the,
No worries, I just,
yes.
as long as,
And we do it all. Sure.
Well, that's what I'm asking. What time did they leave and what time did they come back?
Ms. Rosie, you said 12, right? You left at 12?
I left at 8:30.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. we
I started at 10.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then you get your breakfast
Yes.
voucher, your
Yes.
lunch voucher,
Yes.
and your dinner voucher.
Yes.
$55 then.
Or what?
60, Commissioner.
60.
It's 60.
Well, I need to double check the policy, but the policy says you only get the breakfast if you leave before 8.
I'm pretty confident that if they had to be there, they left.
And they
before eight.
picked up something for breakfast.
Yeah, if they ate on the road.
I would say give them 60.
Well,
I'll make a motion.
It's y'all's
I
decision.
have a motion by Commissioner Carmona, second, hold on, Commissioner Carmona, and second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries.
Thank you, Commissioners.
You're
Judge.
welcome. 3.5, discussion and appropriate action, Constable Precinct 1, Rudy Lopez. I'll entertain a motion to table.
So move.
Motion by Commissioner Noguera,
Second.
second by Commissioner Carmona. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.6, discussion and appropriate action, monthly report from precinct 2.
Glad to see you.
I got 4 more weeks of physical therapy.
arrangement.
That's good to hear.
We have your report.
Yes, it should be in there.
I don't see it in.
I didn't see it.
Oh, wait, you didn't turn it in?
It was sent by email.
This is no.
Motion to table.
Motion to table by Commissioner Alonso Carmona,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
One question. Can I motion to, just for future, can we motion to approve pending that it's provided to us at a later
Well,
time?
there's a motion from
I know,
Commissioner.
but as I said,
Well, you don't have to vote, you don't have to vote, but we can take it off.
no, I was gonna say for future, like for future reference, if we can do that, so that way we're not just putting it back.
No, it'll go on to his next month. It'll go to next month's report, Constable. Thank you, Constable.
Thank you.
3.7, discussion and appropriate action, monthly report from Constable Precinct 3, Mr. Robert Valderas, Juventino Torres for the month of April 2026.
Morning, Commissioner, morning, Judge. Oh, nothing.
Motion to approve.
Are there any questions? I have a motion by Commissioner Talamontes,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries.
Thank you for being out there on all those calls.
Yes, sir. Thank you. One other thing, with the vehicle, I did get it, I appreciate the help on the vehicle, but they were unable to put on-dash camera, so they retracted the cost on the vehicle, so I already found, 10.8 to be put in, so on the financial report that's coming up, that money is being moved over to pay for that 10.8, which, I'm gonna get a couple of quotes for other
Okay.
vendors, but they were ridiculously amount of money compared to the one that we're gonna get here.
Thank you,
And
Constable.
then, next month, well, this month, I will be out for 2 weeks. I'll be going overseas. My son was accepted to the university in South Korea, so I'll be,
Congratulations.
thank you. So I'll be making sure he's settled in. He'll be going to school for about a month and a half, so
Well, thank you for the update.
just in case my report's small.
So you're going to Korea?
Yes. I'm just hoping I get back.
Well, congratulations to your son. It's been an awesome opportunity and, we're proud that he's coming, going out there from Dimmit County, so thank you.
Thank you.
Need a driver?
Yes, right, fly safe.
If you need a driver.
I already learned a word to get back. I told the driver, Yagi, which means the plane.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Three point eight, discussion and appropriate action, monthly report from Constable Precinct 4, Mr. Manuel Rosas and Connie Estrada for the month of April 2026.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioner.
Morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Questions of Constable Rosas?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you,
Thank you
Constable.
for being out there.
3.9, discussion and appropriate action, monthly reports from County Extension Agent Ms. Alyssa Cruz for the month of April 2026.
Good morning.
Morning.
Just kind of go over the month of April. Rio, Escalson, McMillan, Zavala, and South County. We had a multi-county water screening, 25 total samples and 5 for Dimmit County. Last week I had wrapped up a hatching in the classroom program with the Cresel Springs Elementary School. Had 34 youth in 2 classes. Our 4-H members, 4 of our 4-H members participated in the District 12 4-H shooting sports 3P and silhouette rifle contest in Benavides, Texas. And we also had our 4-H recognition banquet last month as well with over 30 youth who attended.
Thank you, Ms. Cruz. Any questions of Ms. Cruz? If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Noguera,
Second.
second by Commissioner Talamontes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. I entertain a motion to table 3.10, Ms. Munoz Ibarra. Okay.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.11, discussion appropriate action, monthly report from Roto Arena Coordinator for the month of April 2026.
Motion to table.
Motion to table by Commissioner Odena,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.12, discussion and appropriate action, monthly report from Dimmit County Golf Course for the month of April 2026. Motion to table by Commissioner Odena,
Second.
second by Commissioner Carmona. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Discussion and appropriate action, approval to purchase automatic AEDs for county building.
Judge, as you can see, most of our personnel is certified, so I did put a list. I had asked for 10, but we have 8 that we need for the buildings, so it would be less than that.
Okay.
But I intend to put 3 in the courthouse annex, 2 in the historical building, 1 in the auditors, 1 on the county building, the PS, and courthouse house.
Commissioner,
Yes,
what about the courthouse in Big Ones?
we can get one. Well, but that's why I made 10, so,
Oh,
You
yeah,
got-
okay,
you
Big
got
Ones and
two-
Ashland.
You got 2 additional ones.
but I'll get those out of my COs.
And I can cover the one as well if you need me to for my COs for the, office in Big Ones. You just can include us in the order process, so we make sure that we're getting the ones that are similar to the
Yeah.
county.
So,
Money.
I have a motion by Commissioner Noguera, second by Commissioner Odena, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 3.14, discussion and appropriate action, approval to purchase and replace an access control system for the county IT department.
Did you get the last quote?
Yes, all 3
I
are.
think it's right there, Commissioner, Angel Protection for 46,000. Your recommendation, Mr. Castaneda, is the H&H door? The
Yes.
$7,000 one?
If we just want the same system as last time, then that'd be my recommendation. But if you want to get something that's a little bit more cloud-based, I would go with Barcom.
what do you recommend?
If I had to admit, I would recommend Barcom, but to get us up and running for right now, H&H would says that. Barcom would only be able to get the exterior doors, the entrances, working for right now, because all the interior ones are wireless, and they require like a special hub that we don't have right now.
So then you would want to keep H&H.
Yeah, for right now, and then we can plan it and budget it for next year. If we want to go with the other company or with
Commissioner Noguera.
That's, he wants H&H, that's my motion.
H&H by Commissioner Noguera. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you. 4.1 and 4.2, I entertain a motion to table. Motion by Commissioner Noguera,
Second.
second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 5.1, discussion and appropriate action, clarification of duty jury duty leave in case of hours going above 40 hours for the work week? Mr. Ortiz?
One year, so lately with all the jury duty that's been happening, we came into an issue with a couple of our policies that kind of conflict. Um, we've always had a policy for jury duty that if you show up for jury duty when you're supposed to work, the county will pay you. But we also have a policy that was passed a couple of years ago that basically you can't use any paid leave to get paid more than the 40 hours. So we stay in budget. So with this jury duty, and it's specifically law enforcement, if we pay them for their hour, well, we did, but if we continue paying people for their jury duty when they're kind of working extra hours, they're getting paid over the 40 hours. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, they're getting overtime.
Yeah, well, it's straight time, but they're getting more than 40 hours. So like, for example, last payroll, we had a situation where in 4 days, they worked like 40 hours because they got called back in. And then they had jury duty on a Monday, so that put them at 48 hours. So we paid it because technically that's what the policy said to do. But I just wanted to make sure that if you still want to keep it that way, but because that's going to cause them to go over budget. And I know that was an issue a couple months ago when the jail kind of ran out of money for overtime.
Question.
So you're saying that, it's okay, you're saying that, if they were to call to jury duty, they have to use their own time to?
No, jury duty is a separate deal. Like if an employee gets called in for jury duty, then they have jury duty. But like in this example,
You're talking about the employees.
employees, yes, like 40 hours and 4 days. And then they went to jury duty on a Monday, so that put them at 48 hours with jury duty. So I wanted to make sure if you still want it that way, to pay them the extra hours.
My question is, are these deputies off or are they working regular
Well,
county?
if they weren't, if they were off, like if let's say it was their Saturday and Sunday, we didn't pay it. But there was a day that they were supposed to work, but they didn't go because they had jury duty.
But I thought we had a policy where the county would pay just regular time
That's what I'm saying.
during county hours.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But in this situation with law enforcement, they're getting paid almost 50 hours for that 1 week.
We're paying them for their service.
Yeah, and I guess what he's saying is
Well,
referred to as.
just to clarify, Mr. Ortiz, when you say jury duty, are they there for the purposes of, because they're a witness or?
No, they're like, they're getting called to get chosen for
So they're actually part of the jury selection.
jury selection, yes.
We're gonna pay that person, as if they were working,
Correct,
but they're in jury duty.
correct.
And so what you're saying is that some of these employees, or specifically the deputies, are going,
Well, it was the jail.
they're going over the 40 hours because they're in jury duty for
Correct.
more than 40 hours.
Correct.
So you're saying it's gonna start to cause,
Budgetary issues.
budgetary issue because we're paying,
Past the 40 hours for that week.
If you think about it, because even if they get jury selection and they're here from 8 to 5, and them being jailers, they're obviously gonna work Saturday and Sunday.
Mhm.
And then that's where the overcharge is coming in.
Correct.
Because I definitely see like how it would have been acceptable if it was perhaps one of us commissioners' employees, and they're only working 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, then there would see that we have.
well, there could be a possible overage
Unless they
because,
stay open
because,
5.
yeah, because Judge Abascal, for instance, he holds court till what, 10 o'clock, or something like that sometimes? So there's a possibility that even regular employees, not just necessarily deputies or jailers, that they're there till 10. I mean, last week I was with Miss Marty and they were here till 10. She was buying pizza at Pizza Hut.
So they're probably just clocking in from 8 to 5 and then not clocking the rest of the time they're there. So
Well,
they can just get their hours.
They'll
Yes,
just put,
yes.
they'll put jury duty on their timesheet. Whenever they enter it, they'll put jury duty however many hours. But this,
But shouldn't we just pay from 8 to 5?
well, that's what I'm,
Because technically they're not working after 5 o'clock for the county.
But that's where you're gonna kind of run into an issue, because if it's the jailers in the jailhouse and they go work on Saturday and Sunday, they already got 40 hours for the whole week. And so Saturday and Sunday.
No, that's what he's saying. We're running into a problem because we're already
Well,
going
that's what I'm saying,
over.
like, even if you say paying 8 to 5.
yeah, like for example, well, I'll give you two situations. There's one situation where,
What are other counties' policies, Mr. Ortiz? Cause I know other
it's
counties
about,
don't.
it's about 50-50.
Yeah, I was gonna say, other counties don't
Yeah.
necessarily do what we're doing.
It's 50-50. Some will pay it regardless and then some won't.
Some won't, yeah. 'Cause I've seen that. Yes, Mr. Padilla?
I think I need to check into this because also remember, we also pay them also and.
That's what I was
they're
gonna say.
keeping- They're keeping that money.
Yeah,
So
so
let me
that was another thing
research.
I was gonna mention, Oscar, is because of Shorties, because, and I know we've heard Ms. Madi mention before, we also pay them on top of that for being a juror. So they get anywhere between $54 to 70-something dollars. So they're getting like double paid.
Well, I mean, I
And
would,
that's what
I
Mr.
would,
Pereira
yeah.
says that he wants to look into, correct, Mr. Pereira?
Right.
But I would argue it's not equitable because it's only $20 for the first day and then
54.
50.
No, I
yeah, for the
understand,
second.
and I understand that. That's why we went back to, they keep it now. But let me check to see what the statutes say, and what's permissible and what's not permissible.
Cause I've seen some counties don't do it and some
Well, the
counties.
statute says we can, but it doesn't really outline
Yeah.
how to do it.
Yeah, and so they keep the pay and they get the hours also.
Is it a possibility that you can write into the policy, like if we do keep it and if it is possible, that we can write into the policy saying that it's only allowable up until 40?
Well, that's what I'm
After
saying.
40, like,
We,
can't compensate.
Well, that's.
we do have that. We do have that. But technically, the policy says for jury duty, if you go to jury duty on a day you were supposed to work, then we'll still pay you. So that's the part I'm asking if you still want to do it, because that forces extra pay that's not budgeted for.
I feel like for budget reasons, that they can only get up to 40, no, regardless of where they get the hours from. I feel like it's already a compromise. And then if they are keeping what they're getting from the jury selections, that fee, I would say, because it'd be no difference than an employee coming in for jury that's on salary. They still get paid whether they're at work or they're not at work. But then you do have certain people that are hourly and they kind of take that loss when they do have to do their jury selections.
Right.
I would say up until 40, just for budgetary reasons. Do we have to decide today?
I think Mr. Pereira wants to look into it as well.
But I think he said because he's gonna pay out.
No, this already
No,
happened.
he had
Okay.
already.
This
Oh,
al-
okay.
Like, I already paid out the extra hours,
So then we can-
but I just wanted to double check if that's what you want to keep doing.
So then we check.
Do I have a motion to table so that Mr. Pereira can follow up?
So,
Second,
Who made the motion? Commissioner Talamantes,
second.
second by Commissioner Alonso Carmona, all in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. 5.2, discussion and appropriate action, consideration and approval of the new time clock system, Time Clock Plus.
Please tell me it's done right.
Yes.
Yes.
But before you do that, I am gonna request table this item. I need to check it. And I need to make sure that everything is gonna flow into the books.
And
And
that
so,
it'll integrate with your system.
yes, please.
Well, you said you already checked.
I didn't check. I hadn't checked.
I asked you when you said yes.
I said I hadn't checked. He hadn't got back with me.
Okay.
Please.
Your table, Commissioner Ogata?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Alonso Carmona.
Can I just give you, I mean, it's an old quote, but just so you can have it.
All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. 5.3, discussion and appropriate action, Dimmit County Quarter 2 Investment Report. Thank you, Mr. Ortiz.
Thank you, sir.
Everybody's a thank you, Richard. Investment report, Mr. Ortiz.
So for our portfolio, first day of the quarter, January 1st, we had $111,194,795.03. Our value at the end of the quarter, 3/31, we had $115,206,155.66. For our portfolio, we
Good
have.
job, Mr. Ortiz. That's an increase of almost $4 to $5 million.
Yes. So we got a weighted average maturity of a year, 1.32 years, which basically averaged out our maturities. That's how long it takes to get our money back. Our weighted average yield is 4.09%. And for fiscal year to date, we have a little over 2 million in just in interest, and then just the second quarter of interest is $1,154,663.49.
Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. I want to applaud you for keeping Dimmitt County above water.
Don't forget Mr. Pereira, he helps
And
too.
Mr. Pereira
Yeah.
too. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Commissioner Noguera,
Second.
second by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. All in favor?
Aye.
I have one abstention by Commissioner Talamantes.
Okay.
Motion
Thank you.
carries. 5.4, discussion of appropriate action, budget adjustment between Constable 3.
I'm gonna have to request both of these tabled. They're using the data processing. I didn't see these ahead of time,
Yeah.
and so we did buy the system already. So we just haven't booked it, and so the,
I have a motion to table.
I think Mr.
Or,
they're using the data processing.
yeah, but I need capital, that's why I'm here to stay for.
I know, but the capital equipment's okay. It's where they're getting it from.
Okay, so can we make that adjustment from another,
I mean, that's fine.
because that's the reason why I'm staying.
What,
That's the reason I'm
what,
staying, because of the 3.5
I didn't see this one, I apologize.
point, where is it?
and I think
5.5.
Commissioner, I mean, Mr. Pereira saying that it's using data processing and you can't
See,
use
the
that
problem
data
is-
processing.
But I know, because right now we're on 5.4. And so if we're
No,
gonna
that was a- we're gonna table.
Yeah,
we have it, close that one out, yeah, so we can open up.
Mr. Pereira,
Oh, okay,
so are you asking to table
No,
5.5, just 5.4?
I apologize. It wasn't that much. It was like 15. I'm moving busy. No, but how much was the data process?
The data, Mr. Pereira, Mr. Pereira,
we're gonna be good, we're gonna do it.
Mr. Pereira, I'm talking.
I'm sorry.
Are we tabling 5.4, which is a Constable 3 one?
No, actually, we're keeping both, we can do both of them.
Okay, so let's discuss 5.4 first. 5.4, if you're asking from data processing in the amount of 15,600 to be moved to operating supplies, constable uniforms, fuel and oil, and capital equipment.
Correct.
So,
And you need it so that we can just balance it out.
No,
The money's there.
They need-
he's moving the 15,000 because he ran out of money on the other 4 items.
But yeah, that's the thing.
Judge, sorry.
We're not talking on yours yet, we're talking constable.
Okay, correct, but that's fine.
No,
No, you're constable work, Constable Rosas.
Correct, but everything you mentioned is that's my writing.
the same thing.
Yeah,
Oh, same-
that's
same-
right.
same- okay.
No, it's 2 items, Constable.
Yeah.
We're not on yours right now.
Yeah,
We're on
okay, coming from
Constable 3.
data processing.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
big-
for operating supplies, constables, uniforms,
We're talking about Constable 3 right now.
Yes.
Not Constable 4, Constable 3.
Sorry.
Constable 3 is asking for data processing funds to be moved over to operating supplies, constable uniforms, fuel and oil, and capital equipment.
you said operating supplies, fuel.
Fuel, constable uniforms, and capital equipment. He's asking to cover supplies for uniforms, 10-8 system, a gun rack, and rifle.
Okay, so operating supplies is negative. Fuel and oil still has about 9. Constables uniforms has about 362, so you see it's there, and then the capital equipment has about 2.
No, I don't have a motion.
I need a motion.
For Constable 3?
Is this his preference though, is what I don't understand.
Yes, this is his budget.
I'm not the one
This
that.
is him that submitted this.
Yes, yeah, because he did mention to me that he wasn't gonna be here, that if I needed to talk to him.
Okay, so
Yes.
he's aware, this is where he
Yes.
wants it to be transferred, it's
Yes,
not
ma'am.
here, okay.
I have a motion by Commissioner Carmona. Second by Commissioner Uranda, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you. Now, 5.5, discussion and appropriate action, budget adjustment between Constable 4, data processing 19,000, training and travel 1,000, to move over to operating supplies, uniforms, maintenance repair vehicle, and capital equipment. Motion by Commissioner Noguera,
Second.
second by Commissioner Talamantes, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you. 5.6, claim docket, general fund, $738,403.51. Dimmit County grants, $1,398. Dimmitt County Airport, $1,461. Dimmitt County Golf Course, $16,736.66. Courthouse security, $5,213.38. Records management clerk, $1,551.75. Utilities, $100,226.93. Stone Garden, $608,972.69. 80.67. Dimmitt County payroll, $852,098.16. Tax note series 23, $4,418.30. MH Pathway to Recovery, $2,231.93. COs 2019, $152,333. COs 21, $119,214.15. SB 22, $13,989.70. For a total of $2,712,729, $83.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. Motion by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. I'll entertain a motion to recess and adjourn the regular meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Carmona. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Odena. All in favor? Any opposition? Motion carries. The time is 12:17, and I am going to call the Public Facilities meeting to order. 1.1, roll call. Let the record reflect that all parties are present. 1.3, approval of meeting, regular meeting, April 20th, 2026.
Motion to approve the motion correction.
Motion by Commissioner Talamantes,
Second.
second by Commissioner Alonso Carmona. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. 2.1, discussion and appropriate action, new business, any new business, Commission? No new business, no action. 3.1, claim docket, public safety, $30,536.63.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Alonso Carmona, second by Commissioner Noguera. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Thank you.